Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to talk about the metal art we sell on the website and some cool ways to use heat either from the kiln or the torch to strike them. So this is what we sell on the website. We have a bunch of different designs just in this raw steel. We have torches, Wig-Wags, Glassblowing, Grateful Dead stuff, pot leaves. Go check it out. There will be a link below. And what you're going to buy is this raw steel. And what you're going to do is you're going to use either the heat from your kiln or your torch to turn it into something like this. This is finished with a little Rust-Oleum clear coat to give it that nice sheen after we're done. But you can see how that has some real cool ambers and blues and purples. This was done in the kiln by bringing the whole thing up to about 200 degrees to give it the amber color. And then I took the torch and I hot spotted it in a couple places to give it those cool struck spots. This one was done in the kiln, and you can see it has a nice gradient from about the amber up to the blue. And this was sitting on the floor of the kiln at about 200 degrees, and then this was right near my thermocoupler, which was set to be at about 500 degrees, and you can see all the cool colors that it hid in between. Sat in there for only about 10 minutes. This is a pretty quick process. Some other ideas you can do with this stuff is just spray paint it, kind of cool. Here's a blank for the video that's just the amber in the kiln. So I brought this up to 200 degrees in the kiln, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to hot spot it in a couple places with the torch to give it some cool metal strikes. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, here we are in the metal shop. I'm going to put on some protective eyewear and some gloves. You don't want to lose an eye, cut your hands up bad, then you can't work. Always good, just like in the glass studio, to wear the right protective gear. Here we have an 80 grit flapper wheel. Oh yeah, she works. And here we have a wire wheel. And all the metal you get from us will be finished with that wire wheel, and it'll be more of a matte finish. Really good for powder coating. But I do prefer the flapper wheel for this metal strike process. So if you do buy one of these, maybe consider hitting it with a flapper wheel, giving it some grooves and some kind of lines that make the piece a little more interesting. And there I just got it clamped to the table. I'm knocking off any dross, any imperfections from the CNC process, bringing it down to a nice matte finish. And then I grab the flapper wheel here and I'm just grinding in some horizontal lines. And these lines will be more interesting in the end when the piece is done. And here you can see kind of the lines I put in. You can see how they got a little flash to them. That flash will transfer, and there's the back side. That's the matte. So those are the two finishes that we use in this video. Alright, next is to the kiln. This is an old F130. Here I'm pointing at my thermocoupler that reads the heat. This kiln is old, don't really use it for glass blowing anymore. Still works great, but it's got an element falling out, maybe needs a little work, but works great for this metal stuff. And it is notoriously uneven in heat, with the element being way up there on the ceiling away from the thermocoupler. You get a really big heat gradient through that box there. But I'm aligning the top of the piece with the thermocoupler, and I know that's going to be my highest heat point. So here I'm just getting the kiln set. I have a program set to ramp up at full. So program 4 here is the ramp here is to full. That means it's going to heat up as fast as possible, and then the Fahrenheit, or the temperature, is, I was set to 500, but I'm going to do 555. If you know, you know. And then there, just initiate the kiln to start. And we're going to speed this up a little bit. And the kiln's ramping up super fast. So now we're at temp, and then it's gonna count down backwards from 10 minutes. I had this program set for 10 minutes. That's all it takes to strike this metal. And there we are, we're done, just like that. So I'm gonna use an old pair of finishing tongs here. It is important that you don't want to scratch this. The heat strike is only on the outer layer, so if you were to grab that with metal, you might leave some scratches in it. And you want to wear gloves the whole time. You can see there I left some fingerprints in it because I put it in the kiln without gloves. So, you know, it is important the whole process to be wearing a pair of gloves. The oils from your hands will affect the strike, and later they'll affect the clear coat. So, you know, recommended gloves the whole time, but we are going to give these away. There'll be more information about that at the end of the video. So here I've got the Lynx hand torch, and I'm just going to use it to flame strike this. And you can see there the flame strike kind of comes after you move off of the torch. If you sit there for too long and you start to see it strike, it's going to go further than you want it to, so you kind of want to baby it. You know, I'm doing a lot of back and forth, kind of seeing what happens, waiting for that strike to go. And now we're just going to put a little stripe down the middle. But yeah, the flame strike is cool. It has real sharp iridescent rainbows in there in the center. You can kind of see where the whole rainbow is. Pretty cool technique. Takes a little more skill than just using the heat of the kiln to drop in a gradient. But you know, this layer is just on the outside, so you can grind that off. You grind the strike off, start all over again. Pretty quick. And here we're just going to do some clear coat. I found the best way to do these is vertical. So I'm going to drop just a nice even layer of Rust-Oleum clear coat on here. And when it's sitting flat like that, the clear coat doesn't have a chance to drip. And then here's the next morning. I let it dry overnight just because I was leaving after that video. But you want to allow it sufficient time to dry before you flip it over on the cup, obviously. At least, you know, I would say several hours minimum. And just, yeah, another coat to the other side, and then another couple hours to dry, and that's about it. All right, that was the process. I did use this S-Mex color chart. I will put a link in the description below so you too can find this. It's just a basic list of colors with temperatures, and online these will be in color so you can see what temperatures produce what colors. And here is the finished product. Got some nice ambers down here, up to some purples and some blues, and we are giving this away. So all you have to do to enter is just leave a comment below, and that will enter you to win this Wig Wag wall hanging. And here is the flame strike one. It's got a cool iridescent stripe down the middle. And that's the metal striking video, so thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Peace.